Thank fuck I am not doing a handstand, Richie April. You're going to have to come up with something a little bit better than that, brother. A hell of a lot fucking better. Am I angry? Disappointed? Frustrated? Yes, I am. All of the above, I am. Surely 8 years into a rebuild, we should be further fucking advanced than what we are. But I never came into this year, and I've stated this so many times. I've stated this, that my reasonings for not being excited about this year, not necessarily not excited about the footy to start, was around us, and the lack of confidence in this football club of mine. And it reared its ugly head in all its fucking glory last night, and it wasn't unexpected. So as much as I can be angry and frustrated, it wasn't unexpected. I didn't sit there for 1 minute last night while that was going on and thinking, we're better than this. Come on, boys, we're better than this. Because we're not. We're not. And I've tried to be really upbeat about grinding out wins in the first 4 weeks and a newfound belief, new culture, better leadership, the ability to grind out a win, and they're difficult to win, games of football, and that showed last night. But let's not fucking beat around the bush here. We are not a very good fucking football team. It's as simple as that. And I suppose what hurts the most, watching that last night, and Adelaide will face bigger tests than us, and that might even come next week when they have to take this, what they're producing at the moment, which is fucking great, on the road to Tasmania against the Hawks, and then back at home the following week against the Pies. That's going to be interesting. But I'll tell you what, everything that Adelaide did last night, and take your hat off to them, that is what we, after 8 years into this fucking rebuild with our third coach, that's everything that we would aspire to be. And everything I would like our football club to look like in regards to the way the game is played, the method. They were hard at the contest. They're fit. They're fast. They're on the same page. They're committed. They have great role players. They complement each other, and they are fucking clinical. And I suppose when you look at last night and you look at that margin and the way it blew out in the end, you take us back to Good Friday against the Kangaroos, and we were all fucking drinking our own bathwater about having a great third quarter and blowing the game open against a really inferior opponent. And I'm talking an inferior opponent who could have put us to the sword in that first half, where they beat us up around the midfield. What Adelaide did last night, and this is what good method does, is they completely annihilated us last night. When the opportunity was there to go in for the kill, they did exactly that. And what did we do the week before? We let a poor North Melbourne team kick the last 4 goals of the game. And that's where we sit right here, right now. And I tell you what, fucking what. And I'm not here to talk about next week's opponent, St Kilda, but I will touch on it really quickly. Us v. the Saints next week. This is one of the biggest games I can remember. And I said that a lot over the last 3 or 4 years, but this has a fair bit of mayo on it. And if you are one of those Carlton supporters, and I know there's plenty out there, and I'm fucking looking at you, and you're hiding at the moment, and you're not saying much at the moment, and this is not necessarily about our coaches at the moment, but they're going to come under the fucking spotlight. The blowtorch is right on these coaches of ours, not just Michael Voss, but the line coaches, all of them. But if you are one of those Carlton supporters, and there were fucking a lot on social media, great pleasure in saying that we dodged a bullet. And you said it more than once. We dodged a bullet regarding Ross Lyon. I hope you're fucking squirming in your boots at the moment. Because, sure, we might have some personnel problems at the moment and some injuries, but that's no excuse, because I don't actually see any player, okay, on our list at the moment who would have changed anything last night. Because that was just a superior football team with a superior method and a superior game plan. But if you're fucking squirming in your boots at the moment because you think we dodged a bullet not picking up Ross Lyon, fuck. How good is it going to be next week when we face the Saints at Marvel Stadium? And there's also another little side bit to that, a subplot, so to speak, with Liam Stocker. That is mouth-watering. Ross the Boss. Yeah, Ross the Boss. What has he in store for us next week? How will Michael Voss get these boys up after what they put out on the park last night against, let's not beat around the bush here, against a superior football team? And I suppose that, for me, hurts a lot more than the fact that we're in the position we are at the moment, because I felt at the start of the year that was us, and I was just waiting for improvement around method. And then the reliance on too few. A star-based team who I still think, and I mentioned this in round one, and take this, I don't know. This is not sinking the boot into our stars. It's around having players who can complement our stars and a bit of method. But fuck, our best players have big flaws in their game. And I mentioned this against the Tigers. And I don't think that was necessarily what beat us last night. But fuck, we are average. We are an average team. And the Adelaide Crows, they look like superstars last night. And we have never produced that type of performance, ever. And that was a complete performance. A wonderful performance by the Crows, completely annihilated with what I consider a new and makeshift midfield. Laird continues to be underrated. Jordan Dawson has just gone in there and taken his game to another level. And my God, didn't he do a number on Patrick Cripps last night? an absolute number, and his ball use is as good as anyone in the competition, and that is something that we continue to lack and to continue not to identify as a problem. And then their front half and the amount of space that was afforded to their forwards and the way they move the ball and the separation they got from our defenders, who I thought were poor last night. I thought they lowered their colours right across the board. Yeah, it was just such a stark contrast last night, but also what we've dished up this year. That must be a huge concern to everyone involved at our football club. But it is a long season. What we've got right now is that hope that it can turn around. That's all. Because I can't actually fucking see it. I cannot see it with what we're putting out on the park at the moment and our methodology that it's going to improve. I just can't see it. So there's no use fucking beating around the bush and fooling ourselves that it will. Okay, all we do now is hold on for dear life. All right, we've banked some wins at the start of the season, and we've got enough talent there, I suppose, to win games. And we will grind out some wins, and I can see more wins coming our way. But if that last night was built up, which it was, Michael Voss mentioned it in his press conference at the start, that was built up almost like a finals game. Finals atmosphere, big occasion, an opponent who are in terrific form and do so many things well and have a lot of areas of the game covered around particularly contest early, then the ability to spread and move, exquisite ball skills, and then the connectedness. And I mentioned that in my preview, those connector-type players who get under your guard, the likes of Ben Keys and Lockie Murphy and Rochelle, who didn't have a big game. And this is the thing with Adelaide last night. Rankin and Rochelle, who were young superstars, they didn't need to have a huge impact. Because the other ones, okay, the others take up the slack. Wow. It feels like a bit of a shit show. It really does. And I don't like that. And I feel like the pressure should come on the coaches. And Michael Voss, you know, like, he would understand this. He would understand that the pressure will come. All right? And the expectation, obviously, is to win games of football. The expectation is to play finals football, but there needs to be a level of growth around that as well. So if that was built up as a finals game last night, that in a nutshell, okay, was finals-like atmosphere. And we weren't up for the fight in any regards at all. Could we made that closer? Okay, could we be more competitive last night? Possibly. But that is what we're capable of producing, and that's what we produced consistently at the back end of last year. So what has essentially changed? And who have we essentially beaten in the first 4 weeks? And wins are hard to come by. And I've mentioned that. They're fucking hard to come by. But that last night, that is us. That is us in a nutshell. And my God, we're slow. We are slow. And you reap what you sow. We can talk about injuries, but I touched on this in the pre-season. You know, understand contracts, understand all that. Marchbank Cunningham, Martin McGovern. Owi's now continually injured, soft tissue injuries. You know, this is what we're putting on the park. So it comes down to this coaching group of ours to work with what they've got. And that was an uncompetitive performance last night. All right? As much as I think that there is a big list issue here. You can still work within the parameters of what you've got. So what are they doing to improve? Now, all I see at the moment is we're a mission statement-based club. Now, I thought, okay, our culture and our leadership and our attitude was starting to turn. And I still think it is. But it's more around talk. And more around hoping that's enough to get the job done. All right? Thinking how good we are, thinking how much we've changed, how much we hate losing, how we want to build a winning culture at the football club, and then we come out, okay, on that big occasion and put a performance up like that. Good sides, better sides than us will sometimes put out performance like that. But we're not there. We haven't proven anything yet. And that, to me, is the concern as well. So people will turn around and say, well, okay, Brisbane had a performance like that in round one. Sydney have had performances like that in against Melbourne this year, Geelong. But these are proven teams. And maybe they haven't won premierships, some of those, but they're proven teams, consistent teams. They get it right more often than not. And we're not there. All right, we're not there by a long shot. So let the fucking heat come. Let it come on the coaches and the players, but more the coaches. It's their responsibility to get this group working, to get it working. And if they can't get this fucking group working, this mix of players, then change it up. Change it up. Show us something different. Because last night was the best performance I've seen from this football club for a very long time. But at the same time, that Adelaide team, that's what we want to be, yeah? And we want to see at least one performance like that, one performance and complete performance like that we can at least hang our hat on and say, okay, we can produce that. We're capable of producing that. So all we're known out at the moment is capable of maybe grinding out a win here or there. But we don't anything in regards to method at all. And the ease of which they were able to score. Our labour-intensive type of system, fuck. How's that going to get the job done against the best in the competition? Let alone Adelaide. Fucking shit. Absolutely shit. Stop drinking your own bathwater. Stop thinking it's just going to change. Right, with hard work. Actually start to show us, okay, some method. Some fucking method. Show us some method. Oh, we want to see some method. I'm not interested in stars taking marks and kicking goals, snaps over the shoulders. I want to see some method. I want to see forwards leading up to the ball with space. I want to see our halfbacks running, spreading. I want to see some dynamism in that midfield mix. Who is it? Because right now it's all the same. It's all the bloody same. Maybe, Vossi, you might need to make some statements, mate. Some statements. Last line, Woody would not accept that. He would not accept that. Let's go through the players. Jack Silvani. Well, he battled away. That's Jack. That's Jack. No goal assists. Didn't hit the scoreboard. Don't think he even had a shot at goal. But that's Jack. Worked his gut. Worked hard. Great smother. But, yeah. Is it good enough? Is the actual method helping him too? That's got to come into consideration as well. Balls just bomb to Harry and Charlie consistently, and Adelaide getting their numbers back. Wow. So where's Jack? Where's our smalls? Why aren't we hitting up? If they're all gravitating to Charlie and Harry, where's our outnumber? Motlop. Poor night. Laid the 5 tackles, but a lot slipped. Kicked the goal, but poor night. Second-year player. Just thought he had a poor night. Chera worked into the game in the second quarter. Thought he was our best at half time, but we're just not getting it right in the middle of the ground, and he's part of that. And I can't work it out. I just can't work it out. He tried behind the ball, just didn't think it worked. I just didn't think it worked at all. Understood why they probably felt a need to do that, given Doherty was out, but I didn't like it. Cripps, horrible night. I know he laid 10 tackles, but second to the ball the whole night and looked slow. Just looks slow. And no impact on the contest or the game at all for the whole night. Harry had his work cut out, was outnumbered. I talk about our stars having flaws, and they all do. Even the best players in the competition have their flaws. But I talk about being complimented. But that last quarter where he should have just kicked that goal around the body, virtually in the goal square, and he sprayed it. That's classic Harry. That's classic Harry. The Conning ordinary. Just ordinary. Had his opportunity to really fucking get into the game when Pitnet went off, who was crap as well. Ordinary. Akers, I thought, battled the whole night. I thought he was one who at least continued to run, but his ball use was below par, but that's him. And I've spoken about that a lot. He doesn't bring exquisite skills. He can kick long, but, yeah, I think it's an area of his game which has always been under question, but I think he at least battled 523 metres gained and worked hard. Holland's the same, worked his butt off, but first-year player is just not going to win a lot of the ball at the moment. But we need to persevere with him out there because there's no one else. And I'm taking him over Lockie O'Brien every day of the week. Sam Walsh, yeah, look, first game back, was okay. We were beaten up through the midfield, but he worked into it after quarter time with Chera. One of the reasons why we started to get sort of back into the game around the contest. Only 185 metres gained, though. Had 19 handballs, only 6 kicks. I think we need more penetration from Sam Walsh. That will come, hopefully, in the coming weeks. Durden got on the end of the couple, kicked the first goal of the game and then won late. We were never winning that game of football when he kicked that goal. They were just scoring at ease, Adelaide. So it was regardless of any point in time in that game where we thought we were a sniff. I never for 1 minute thought we were a sniff in that game with the ease of which they were doing it and how clinical they were with their ball use and their spread and their run. We couldn't defend that. Durden, yeah, I just think, yeah. I don't know. I want to like him. Getting on the end of a couple's good for his confidence. Still think he can go up a notch in regard to his tackling. Plowman, I mean, what the fuck's he even playing? Why? Yeah, they know better than us. Coaches know better than us, but why? I mean, Kemp had a beauty in the reserves last week. It wasn't like Plowman was coming in to really play a specific role. I thought a lot of the times he was caught on a Fogarty or a Phil Thorpe. who are bigger opponents. So why not Kemp? Why not at least give the kid an opportunity? How many times are we going to go back to a Lockie Plowman? Absolutely comical. Wiedering, yeah, just thought he had a poor one. We couldn't defend their run. There wasn't a lot of pressure on the ball carrier coming through the midfield. So he was up for a hard task last night, but I thought he was beaten. It was actually a pretty disappointing night by Jacob Wiedering. Nick Newman, one that can hold his head up high. He's asked to, I suppose, play two roles. One, shutting out probably the most dangerous small forward on the ground. I didn't think Rankin was poor, but I thought Newman did a really good job on him. And he's also been asked to give us some running, some carry, which is difficult to play that dual role. I actually thought he was our best. I really did. At least he was up for the fight. Fisher, ordinary, just ordinary. Didn't like his game. Not even going to look at his fucking stats. What do you have? There you go, 14 touches. Yeah, just not good enough at the moment. Cowan, first year playing down back. Yeah, okay, you can lock down. And maybe that's all he can give us at the moment. Be really hard at the contest. We're lacking. Yeah, we're lacking a little bit of spring out of our back half. We really are. And there's not much else, is there, at the moment? The cupboard is fairly bare. So that's what we're going to get from Lockie Cowan at the moment. But it's not a knock on the kid. But that's what we're doing. We're playing two first-year players who are giving us that. We're giving us an honest performance, but nothing that's going to go, okay, wow, okay, this is, as a defender, he's got a great kick on him apparently, and who can run, is giving us a 9 disposal game. Yeah, just a 9 disposal game. Pitnet, yeah, came off, just average. Hewitt, okay, there's your statement right there. 3 ordinary games in a row. And I mean ordinary, really ordinary. Looks lethargic, looks off the pace. And you know what? If he's not right, he's not right. Okay, but you fucking cross that white line. Okay, it's open slather as far as I'm concerned, and he's better than that. A hell of a lot better than that. And right here, right now, that midfield is the slowest and one pace midfielder in the competition, and he's a part of that. And they just can't get their hands on the ball. They just can't get their hands on the ball. Lewis Young, poor night. Spent a lot of the week down at Sturt, you know, his former footy club, a lot of social media. You know, I like him, but he was outmarked, outgunned last night by Fogarty at times, Walker at times, had a poor night. Couple of grabs, but it was a horrible night by Lewis Young. Curnow, yeah, what the fuck's going on there? Went to Laird. Laird still had an impact. Poor boy, still 23 touches, but all junk. And I'm sick of talking about honesty and effort. I'm just sick of talking about it. It's not fucking park football. It's just not park football. You know, it's not. And it needs to be more than that. So what role is he essentially playing? Because Adelaide were able to do it with Ben Keys, got him out of the midfield, found him a role across half forward. His engine is huge. His work rate is unbelievable. He runs his opponents off their feet. Okay, he's not the most highly skilled player, but he's got a nous for goal. It's worked perfectly for them, but we continue to persevere with the likes of Ed Curnow through the middle of the ground. Honey, why? Why was he the sub? Why? Couldn't get near it last week. Could not get near it. And Adam Sard had a poor one on Ben Keys. Just had a poor one, I thought. Off the pace. Speak soon, guys.